So I guess I got started with collage through photography. I had always loved photography, through high school, through college. My favorite part of it was probably composition. And I think that sense of composition kind of took me into collage. And that came about around the time that my grandma gave me some of her old National Geographic magazines. She had stacks and stacks of them from her uncle from the 1950s all the way through the 1980s. And going through some of those magazines, seeing that imagery, seeing those colors really inspired me to kind of take them out and reinvent them. So most of my style in collage has been developing sharper over the years. It's become more and more in focus as I've been working. And particularly this year, the stuff that I've made, I can definitively say has been feminist and somewhat more politicized than I've ever worked in the past. A lot of that derives from where I'm getting the imagery. So most of the images and components I'm getting are coming from old Life and National Geographic magazines. And those magazines, when they wwere published in the 50s, 60s, 70s, were by and for men. So especially some of the Life advertisements are incredibly misogynist and just, completely deaf and mute to any, sensitivity, for women by women. So my attempt with a lot of the work is to remove these misogynist images and advertisements and reappropriate them and turn them upside down and turn them on their heads and have them say something new, something almost exactly opposite of their original intended purpose. So this is a piece that a New York affair and I have just collaborated on. And it's from an original work that I created called Another Beautiful Life. And the meaning behind the title and the idea behind the piece is that, frankly, death is everywhere and death is always. But in an optimistic way, with every death, there's rebirth. And the direct attempt with this imagery was pairing something like the flowers that are vibrant and living and pretty much the epitome of birth and beauty and everything that is moving and alive with this skeleton, with the kind of stereotypical symbol of death. The juxtaposition, is definitely trying to point to there's another way of looking at this.